Hello everyone and welcome to Customs in the Making.
And today, I will be making Oliver and Toad. So before I start, just want to really say, bruh, I cleaned this whole table. And not just that, I cleaned like the entire setup, like the table down there, but I'm not going to go through that all, but I'm happy to get all this like cleaned because it was a mess. But okay, now I'm going to start on talking about the custom. And for this Oliver and Toad custom, I'll be using an old Tommy Edward and a van. So that may seem weird, but I do have an idea. So this, an old city of Truro, or Truro, however you pronounce it, failed custom. I'm going to be making this Oliver. And you may be wondering, why would I use Edward for an Oliver? This is my plan. I'm going to swap this around, and I'll have to take the motor out. I have to find a way around that. But, you know, since Oliver has like that, or the wheel arches there, or wheels there in the front like that, I think I know what I would do. I'm having trouble explaining this. I'd do custom side tanks and a bunker. And I might even have to cut into the boiler and shift the smoke box back. So yeah, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to start disassembling the salt. Sure, this is already kind of in pieces, but more like just organizing through all this, which I'll start now. Alright, so here they are, all disassembled. And so here you got the wheels, the running board bits, the motor, and I just chucked the tender stuff into my spare parts bin because won't need it for this. Van parts. So, yeah. And I guess what I'm going to do now, I'm going to start getting to the cutting. And what I'm going to mainly do. One, I'm going to cut this down, maybe some openings for like Toad's, what is it? Kind of, not windows, more like into the cab thing. And probably smoothen this a bit more because it's kind of a bit rough, like the sides. And I'm going to do the fittings, like making sure I can fit this the opposite way. And I might cut down the motor, so it's not going to work, but maybe so I could at least fit it in so the wheels have a good place to run. Because, like, you know, the motor sits right here. The wheel thing goes in between the axle. And yeah, just really make it so it can still fit for that one reason. So yeah, I'll start doing all the cutting right now. Alright, so I got most of the cutting done. And first on, well, the Oliver model, I've started to fit it so it would fit the other way. I still gotta do some details, like I gotta cut into the side of it because I think this interferes with it, if that makes sense. The wheels are too close to the boiler. So yeah, and I'm gonna reuse the Edward wheel arches. So yeah, like place them over it, but I'm gonna save that for what I'm gonna do next, which is the shaping. And actually, one thing you may not notice I did, I cut the boiler back by like one boiler stripe. Because if you see right here, yeah. And you see I did glue this together. It's not permanent, it's just so I can get a kind of idea of what's going on. So yeah. Now I'm gonna start working on like the firebox, the side tanks, all that kind of stuff. Just basically the rest of the shaping for all this. And I'm also gonna probably put some paper over Toad because I messed up a bit on the cutting. So yeah, start now. Alright, so I did all the shaping. And a lot, and I mean a lot was done. So one, you got handrail extensions for over the face, or smoke box. Little thing right here to smoothen that out. I flattened the running board. I cut off the back and put it up here because I thought it would look nice. And I used an old running board in the back. So yeah, I extended that a bit. The wheels, and also one thing I did, the middle wheel, I put it in between the two holes because both were either too far or too close in. So it free rolls well, and I'll explain why in a second. You got this for like a little representation, side tanks, this, the gold bunker. Safety valve, dome, this thing. So yeah, both sides. And so a reason why this free rolls well, I stuck a bunch of weights on it, and I also cut down the motor so this could fit on backwards. And I also put some on the inside. So, on Toad. It's cheap and it doesn't look too good, but once painted I think it'll look a lot better. You got these small handrail details, so the cuts in looks a lot better. And this here. So yeah, that's really it for the shaping. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start painting everything its base coat. For Oliver, I'm going to do this green. And for Toad, I'm going to do just the standard gray I have. Alright, so I got their base coats painted. So for Oliver, you got green all around. I think this suits him well. I think I got it pretty accurate. So yeah, all this. And I did take the front of the smoke box off. And Toad, you got all around. And I tried getting it on the inside a bit. Here, I'll get it in the light. If you look very closely, there may be some of the original color visible, but really it's not. So, I think it turned out well, yeah. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint the black parts and red, because, well, a lot of black on here. And also the white, because Toad's cab roof, my bad. So yeah, gotta fix this up. I'm going to paint the wheels black. I know Oliver's wheels are actually green, but I think it might look nice. So, yeah, I'm going to paint all that stuff real quick. Alright, so I painted all the black parts and stuff. So first, you got Oliver's cab roof, smoke box, 2 wheels. Also, when Toad painted the roof white, the sides, like little handrail representations, just fixed this up. And got the running board. And I also painted some coal for later. And got the wheels on here. So yeah, what's left now is really just the final details, like handrails. For Oliver, I can put the number 11, maybe the Great Western for Toad. Yeah, just all the final details. Alright, so I got all the details. To start, buffer beam, black buffers and coupling, both sides. Silver handrails on the smoke box. Nothing here. Just the little Great Western on Toad. And little lines, like, for, I guess, the wooden parts, or wooden lines, if that's the way of saying it, maybe. So, yeah, what else? Alright, on here, you have the number 11, both sides, little steps, window details, and I put the coal in already. Golden safety valve or whatever. Windows, whistle, one bigger than the other, because something about Great Western. Same stuff on the other side. And also, I did put the Great Western logo on, because I might start doing that, but mostly because I'm in a rush and want to get that over real quick. Handrails, and something you notice that Oliver doesn't have, a red stripe on the front. Thought I might add that, think it might look nice, so just thought I'd do it. So, yeah. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go spray a clear coat on all this, then I'm going to assemble it. Alright, so I I didn't put it together yet, but I put the clear coat on. So you see everything looks a bit shinier, and boy, I really like this. I think it, well, one thing about Oliver, I thought the side tanks were way too tall when I was working on this, but everything, I think it came together really well. So yeah, all that's left to do now is assemble it. Alright, and here they both are. So first thing, there's blue tack thing on their face, because I did put their faces on already, because they appeared in Stepney the Criminal episode 6, and maybe 7 if it came up by now. But I put their faces on and recorded before recording this. So yeah, I'm just gonna get started with this. Like, I actually really like this. The thing is, I had to glue this on because it didn't have any, like, parts you could just screw in. So the top is glue. It's kind of flimsy at the back, but I think it's alright. I actually really love how this came out. And on the back, you just got a little coupling right here. Simple. On Toad, got a little blue tack bit. Like, really, these came out really nice. And, you know, most of my customs recently, they have not been able to free roll recently. But look at this. Perfectly. And I'm happy about that. So, yeah, last thing to do now, put on the faces. So, here they are, all done with the faces. Yeah, the faces with the colored eyes, Toad not, because this face is just a placeholder. I have managed to find good Toad faces, but before I was having trouble. So yeah, this is just placeholder face. I will be changing it. So Oliver here. Well, actually, I do like these, but I have one complaint about Oliver, which I can fix. Look, it's kind of offset, but the thing is, right here, these two back wheels, I drilled one taller than the other, so one sags more. But I can fix that with some cardboard, so yeah, easy fix. So, yeah, that's really it for Oliver and Toad. Great Western boys. And thanks for watching. Goodbye.